Welcome to SVR IAS Academy's newspaper analysis video lecture. Today's date is 12th April 2017. First article that we are going to discuss is about robotic hand that rocks the manufacturing cradle. This article has been published in the Hindu newspaper. This article deals about Bravo. Bravo is an important area for the prelims examination. Bravo is nothing but an industrial robotic hand. It is the robotic hand manufactured by Tata Motors subsidiary. Tata Motors subsidiary. It is called as India's first indigenously made industrial articulated robot. It is useful for the micro, small and medium enterprises because the price of the Bravo is less compared to the imported robotic hands. It is manufactured under the Make in India drive. Small and medium enterprises says that introduction of the robots will ensure the product quality and at the same time improve their competitiveness in the international market. One more plus point is that it is indigenously developed by Tata Motors Limited Company, so the spare parts and annual maintenance will be cheaper when compared to the imported robotic hands. One question emerges whether Bravo will lead to the reduction in the employment of humans in the companies. Small and medium enterprises says that it will not reduce the employment of the workers, only it will be deployed where humans cannot do the job. But according to the various reports that we already discussed in our earlier video lecture, in the software industry we are seeing the reduced intake of IT engineers because of the automation impact. So let's prepare one article on the impact of automation and employment level. It can be asked in the mains examination. The robotic hand comes in GS paper 3 where you have a topic called awareness in the field of robotics. So it's coming in GS paper 3. So prepare thoroughly on the robotic hand. Another article that has been published in the Hindu newspaper is G7 stand united on Syria. Recently, the foreign ministers of the group of 7 nations held a meeting in the Lucca city in Italy and condemned the chemical attack carried out in Syria. Because of that, more than 90 people died in this chemical attack. The G7 member countries blame the Syrian president Bashar al-Assad for carrying out this chemical attack. As also we discussed in our earlier video lecture that after chemical attack in Syria, US carried out direct attack on the Syrian government controlled airfield called as Sharat airfield. Sharat airfield in the Homs province of Syria. So G7 member countries also supported US direct attack on the Syrian government. Just look at the image where you can see the G7 industrialized countries. The G7 members are Canada, United States of America, United Kingdom, France, Italy, Germany and Japan. So 1 Asian nation, 2 North American nations and 4 European nations constitute G7. So the G7 is a group of industrialized nations, is an informal block of industrialized democracies. The members we already discussed. The group meets every year to discuss the global economic governance, international security and energy policy. The supporters of the G7 say that the G7 is small group and also homogeneous membership. It means all countries are developed countries. So this small and relatively homogeneous membership promotes the collective decision making and decision making is quick. And critics say that it lacks follow through and it excludes the important emerging powers like India, China, and Russia. So it can't decide about the global economic governance. In this background, our failure of the G7 led to the birth of G20. We already provided a video lecture on the G20. Visit our website commandindia.com to get this video lecture. Russia also became the member of G7, then G7 became the G8. Until 2014 it is called as G8. We already discussed about the Ukraine crisis, annexation of the Crimean region by the Russia. The forceful annexation of the Crimea by Russia led to the exclusion of Russia from G8 and once again it became G7. Political analysts say that the emerging popularity of G20 nation as an alternative platform, the Eurozone economic crisis which affected the four nations, and also Ukraine crisis which is getting deepening, all these makes G7 almost irrelevant. One more important point is that European Union is also participating in the G7 meeting every year as a non-enumerated member. And there is no formal criteria for G7 membership. All countries are the developed countries. Combinedly, all 7 nations account for nearly 50% of the global GDP. One more important point is that like NATO, United Nations, G7 is not a formal institution. So already we discussed about UN, NATO in our separate video lectures in commandindia.com website. So go to our website, and these are the formal bodies, whereas G7 is an informal block of developed countries. So it has no charter, it has no secretariat. That's all about important points in G7. Now let's move to the next topic. This article has been published in the Indian Express newspaper. It says that right to know is a fundamental right. It cannot be curtailed by Supreme Court. Before discussing the issue in detail, just understand the background history. In our every video lecture we publish in our website commandindia.com, we provide a background explainer as well so that you can understand an issue comprehensively. As all we know, sex ratio is declining faster. For every 1,000 male, the number of females is decreasing, and it's also child sex ratio also decreasing at a much faster rate when compared to the adult sex ratio because of the sex selection methods, sex determination, etc. Section 22 of the prenatal and preconception sex diagnostic techniques restricts only the paid advertisements on the sex selection methods. So it means the sex determination methods or sex selection method advertisements cannot be done in the Google or Facebook, etc. It is illegal according to the section 20 of PNTD Act 1994. PNTD nothing but Prenatal Preconception Diagnostic Techniques Act. In a PL filed against the declining child sex ratio, Supreme Court has issued directions to Google and Facebook and other companies whether they can block the sex determination contents on the internet or not. And recently the central government also replied to the court that right to know is a fundamental right. We can block the advertisement, but what about information? If some person goes to Google and search about sex selection or sex determination methods, and he will find a lot of information, and it is a person's right to know the content or information. So the central government says that right to know is a fundamental right under Article 19 Class 1 Subclass A of the Indian Constitution. The Article 19 Class 1 Subclass A guarantees freedom of speech and expression. As already we discussed, Section 22 of the Prenatal and Preconception Diagnostic Techniques prohibits the advertisements relating to the prenatal sex discrimination and is prescribes the punishment for its contravention. Google and Microsoft replied to the central government's notice, Supreme Court's notice, that they can block the advertisement. But every year, thousands of journals and magazines are published with respect to the sex discrimination or sex selection methods. They can't block the content, but they say that they can block the advertisement. Internet is also called as Information Expressway or Information Superhighway. Attorney General said that there is a distinction between information and advertisement. A person, out of curiosity, if search for some material, then it is his fundamental right. The right to know is his fundamental right. So we can't curtail it. So we need to take a fine balance between the person's right to know, and at the same time we need to take a step together to block the advertisements, or we need to take a lot of steps to improve the child sex ratio. That's all about today's newspaper analysis sample video lecture. If you are interested to join our IAS 2018 foundation course that we launched 15 days back, WhatsApp to us. Our WhatsApp number is 809 809 9922. Visit our website commondindia.com to get the free video lectures. Thank you.